Bom dia and welcome to Angola, home of the third financing summit of Africa's infrastructure development, organized by the AUDA-NEPAD and the African Union and hosted by the government of Angola. The agenda has been focused on accelerating bankable projects in line with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, home of approximately 1.4 billion people. Ibrah, it's been a fantastic 3 days here. Talk to me about SAATM.
But first, I think I have to congratulate you for the launching of the African pilot. I think it's a missile link. Now you are democratizing news on air transportation market, which is great. SAATM is making significant progress. As we stand, around 28 countries have signed the commitment. 18 countries have signed the memorandum of implementation, and then 21 countries that actually constitute 85% of the air traffic on the continent have come together to roll out and to pilot the SAATM process. But more importantly, I think, like I said, is if we want SAATM to be a reality, we have to understand that it's fundamentally a business case. It's fundamentally a business case. So we need to convince people that you can make money through air transportation.
So if I understand SAATM correctly, this is also about bringing down the cost. Having recently just attended the African Aviation Summit in Kigali, one of the things that really surprised me was the kind of expense. The cost is so high for our airlines here in terms of fees and taxes and fuel versus anywhere else in the world. How do we really bring that down to make it an affordable process?
This is a political solution. We need to move speedily towards one sky,
yes,
one single African sky, where we will have the possibility for an airline to pick passengers from one country, freely drop them to another, and pick other passengers and drop them to another. This kind of deregulation must happen if we want to lower costs. That's one. Number two is we need to enhance infrastructure, because the cost of the infrastructure is very high, and that's why sometimes the company have to increase. And we also need to I would say remove barriers in terms of airlines. We need to remove all the barriers that limit the entrance into the market. And finally, I think we need to look inward. There is a number of African markets that is occupied by non-African actors. I think we need to prioritize African economic operators. You hear the president and CEO of Africa Finance Corporation yesterday saying that Africa first.
Yes.
Without dipping into the rhetoric or what that means, but fundamentally is to say that we cannot be exporting jobs. So let's support African private sector to operate in Africa and to transport Africans within the continent and beyond.
AUDA-NEPAD and the African Union Commission, this is very much a political and government agenda that needs to be driven, because, you know, obviously airport taxes and visa fees and all of that actually come from government legislation.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the airline who's saying
Absolutely.
We're adding this. So is there going to be a task team that focuses on this?
President of the Council of Togolese Republic, he's a champion of SAATM. He's doing a fantastic advocacy work, lobbying across the continent and beyond to ensure that there is this consensus around simplification and the facilitation of air transportation. The second effort, we have an African Civil Aviation Commission, AFCAC,
Yes,
that is continue engaging with all the stakeholders to highlight the necessity of what we are talking about.
Yes.
And then finally, at our level, AUDA-NEPAD, we are looking at the infrastructure sphere of it. For example, if SAATM has to suddenly become a reality, if all the country will sign it and commit to it, do we have the adequate infrastructure to support the traffic that will generate?
That was going to be my next question.
And our idea going forward is really to have at a continental level, from the infrastructure perspective, an air transportation infrastructure master plan. And that master plan will not be a document, but rather a list of actionable projects that we can gather and converge the effort of countries and the financing from investors to say that if SAATM has to become a reality, these are the backbone infrastructure that will support it. The same as PIDA is the backbone of the African Continental Free Trade Area.